Hey guys, how you doing? Alrighty, cool. Thank you so much for having me. Today we'll talk a little bit about how to compete against, first of all, whoever's idea it was to put me after Burger King, because we have like 50 restaurants. Brilliant. Thank you very much for that paradox. So how do we, I'll talk about Burger King a lot. Are they still here? Is Burger King still here? All right, they're not here, so we can talk about them freely. I'll talk about Burger King a lot today. And they're a big, giant company, right? And we're a tiny company. We have 50 restaurants in 5 countries. So we have to growth hack. We have to do things differently. We have to do things on a budget, right? So we'll talk a little bit about that and the positions we're hiring and looking into, and how we're looking into the startup world to go ahead and innovate. All right, so a little bit about Bareburger. We opened in 2009. I did start as the first busboy, and I was very terrible, and that's why they kept on promoting me upwards. That was the only way to get rid of me. Our check average is $43. We're in 5 countries, and we have 50 locations currently. A little bit about myself. A year before I joined as a busboy, I just came to the country. I learned English watching Scorsese movies, and yeah. And so if I'm pointing a lot, threatening people, it's just part of my upbringing. All right, so we're going to talk about these 6 roles, right? We're going to talk about a pipeline specialist, growth hacker, marketing data analyst, UI UX designer, inbound marketer, and the chief experience officer. So these are the roles I think are emerging in, not just in restaurant, but everywhere across the board. So let's look at them. First, the growth hacker. These are the data from Bareburger third-party data for Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats. We will talk about Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats a lot because I hate them. You guys know the margins they're taking, right? So we have third-party sites. This is the sales on third-party sites in 2016-17, $20 million. On our website, we're doing 3.3 million, and on our app, we're doing 474,000, right? So why do we hate third-party? This room needs no introduction. They take anywhere from 20 to 30%, right? Those are the fees. We all are trying to figure out how to get away from that, right? So a growth hacker's job is to go ahead and put a budget together, right? So I'll give you some of the solution a growth hacker will come up with. So they'll create a digital summary for what we're spending in 2019, right? It's not a lot. It's $610,000. That's Burger King's coffee budget for the year. And I'm fine with that, right? So we'll break it down exactly what we're spending and where are we spending it, right? And this is something that we've taken from startups, right? From apps. I am also founder of 2 to 3 failed startups. So everything I've learned from the startup world. And this is something you create when you have a lean marketing budget. And what do you do after that? So we looked at third-party sites and we said, you know what, we can do something better. We can. This is distracting me. I can't look at you guys. I've been staring at that bottle. So let's make ourselves better than third-party sites, right? Let's make sure Bareburger is available to order via text, Messenger, Slack, Google, Alexa, Smart TV, right? So a little bit more available, right? Domino's obviously excels in this better than anyone else. What else would a growth hacker do? You want to make sure you can order from our Facebook app, right? Have a conversation. There's AI involved. And you can even tell the Facebook Messenger, hey, I'm vegan. And then the rest of the conversation will be our menu, but it'll be vegan offering, right? You can even say, I'm looking for food items that are less than 500 calories. The menu readjusts, and now the conversation's around our leaner stuff on our menu. Something else a growth hacker would do, they'll do ad roll targeting. We've taken this from fashion. Fashion does this better than anyone else. Have you shopped for something, and then you just looked at something, you're browsing, and you see those pair of sneakers everywhere, and you're just sick and tired of seeing it, and you just buy it? No, just me? No? All right, so we've taken that from fashion, and now we're doing ad roll targeting across Spotify, across Facebook, across Instagram. If someone has put something in our cart, we'll make sure that cart shows up and that item shows up and is following you around your digital landscape. All right, something else a growth hacker would do. A growth hacker would look at all the discounts we're doing, right? So let's look at some of the discounts we've done in the last 6 months. Orders with promo, 12,000. Total number of discounts, we've given away $50,000 in discount. That's only 1.9%. So I have franchisees that I have to explain and tell them, hey, we're giving away free burgers or free sides. It's only 1.9%. No reason to be upset. Average discount is $4. Customers that have used it in the last 6 months on our app, 9,000. Revenue from that, a little bit over 350,000, right? So next year, when I'm asking for the budget to increase, I have data, actual data from the last 6 months to show on why I need more money, right? In fact, I'm doing growth hacking right now. I have an app, right? I have a download code. You guys can try it, QSR Talk, and everyone in this room gets a free burger, right? So these are some of the things our growth hacking team are constantly doing to make sure that we're out there. So we looked at our 2017 numbers, we compared it to 2018. The needle is moving, right? It's working. Third-party site used to be at 84%, they've dropped down to 64%. Can I get a hallelujah? Website has moved from 14% to 24%. App has quadrupled from 2 to 8%, right? And we'll talk about 2019 as well. All right, role number 2, pipeline specialist. This one's a boring role, so whoever you hate on your team, you give it to them. But this guy's the operator, right? This is a guy on the team who does not miss the details. So they will look at a customer journey. This is the Bareburger customer journey. Red means we're spending money. Yellow means it's experience or earned media, right? So this is a customer journey for Bareburger from the moment we've reached out to them to their first purchase, to if they're a repeat customer, loyal customer, or are they lapsing or indecisive customer, right? So a pipeline specialist, their job is to look at this customer journey and make sure we can go ahead and increase check average, increase check, customer frequency, right? So let's look at some things a pipeline specialist would do. They would say, hey, listen, you guys, Sweet Green and Diggin are crushing it. Bareburger is not, because it's a full sit-down concept, right? So people don't feel like they can come in really quickly and grab a meal to go, right? So let's go ahead and launch our app and make sure that people can see these smart lockers where we can order the food and we'll put it in the lockers so people can grab and go, right? So we are a sit-down restaurant that takes average 5 minutes to cook their burger and prep it, maybe 7 minutes to prep it and package it. If we time it properly, and if a customer is walking towards the restaurant, we can now fire that and make sure we're timing our product perfectly, right? So we can never be as fast as Chipotle, Diggin, or Sweet Green, but we can make sure the customer experience is a little bit better so we could get a little bit more of a lunch crowd. So this is something a pipeline specialist would come propose to us, and we're testing this out in a couple of our locations. A pipeline specialist would say, hey, let's go ahead and increase the number of impulse purchases people can buy near the cash register or online, right? Things that people can buy and hold on to for a little bit longer, or grab and go, right? So maybe there's a protein bar we can go ahead and increase, right? Maybe there's some chips instead of fries because fries don't travel well. If an average restaurant does 3 items a day, we're looking at $250,000 a year, right? So even if we try it and it fails, you're looking at $256,000 to your bottom line. I can't see the numbers, so I'm guessing, guys. So you tell me if I'm making stuff up. I can barely see anything from here. All right, a clothing partnership. Partner up with someone local. Go ahead and do a revenue sharing and go ahead and dab into a little bit into fashion and do some inbound marketing with them, right? So more ways to go ahead and drive our traffic and conversations from a different area where we're maybe not the industry leaders. Role number 3, marketing data analyst. Am I going too fast, too slow? Perfect. Someone said perfect. He said perfect. All right. Number 3 is marketing data analyst. This is one of my favorites. We work with a company called Cardlytics. Anyone's heard of them? Yeah, a lot of them. Okay. So for anyone who's not, what Cardlytics does is they will look at all your credit cards and they will send you offers via your bank. So 10% cash back if you go to Bareburger, right? So now if you activate it and you come to Bareburger, I can track not just data on you, but I can also you also get cash back, and I'm losing average 8% on that check, right? So that's the deal. We lose 8%. I'm driving you via your bank, and I can also track credit cards that have never been swiped before, right? So it adds a lot of benefits to restaurants. One of the things I like is I can now see how often the customer comes back or does not come back, right? So we're looking at average 70% of the time customers are coming to Bareburger and never coming back again. It's not that alarming, right? We know in New York that's what happens. There's so much options. There's a lot of tourist traffic. That's what happens in New York. But let's go ahead and look at how we're doing compared to in-app and third-party. And what would a marketing data analyst do when they looked at this data? They want to go ahead and increase the frequency and see if we can win some of those customers back. So some of the things we do. And guys, I'm sharing stuff that you have to be really creative when you don't have a lot of money, right? So we're looking at our slow hours on Mondays and Tuesdays and partnering up with apps like Lulu app, Kelspace, BackBNB, and OpenTable. So what are we doing? Apps like Lulu app and Kelspace are pretty fascinating. Kelspace is like WeWork. They'll convert your restaurant into a WeWork. So people are not just going to Starbucks. People are coming to your restaurant on Mondays and Tuesdays. And your manager can decide when people can come into your restaurant, right? And let's say it's $4 an hour to the guest. You get 80% of that, and the app gets 20%. In addition, now that you have people coming into your restaurant and you have that digital presence, on top of that, people are usually buying something. We've noticed that 23% of the time, the customers who are coming in from CalSpace are purchasing something. So that's something you can do during slow hours. Lulu app, this one's funny. Anyone's heard of Lulu app? No? So, Starbucks has a policy now, anyone can use their restroom. So the quality has dropped, right? They are now terrible. So with Lulu app, you can now, just like you get an Uber, you can purchase restrooms. Like you can purchase a trip to a restroom for $3-4, right? Instead of going to a Starbucks. So wherever you are, you turn on the app, and restaurants you like or spaces you like, you can go and use your restroom. And again, there's a profit sharing with the restaurant. If a guest walked into our restaurant and said, hey, I'm not buying anything, can I use your restroom? We would say yes anyways, right? Would never turn anyone away. Unless, no, I don't think we would. We would turn anyone away. So why not drive more traffic and have more digital presence? Something else that this analyst would do is they would go ahead and work with companies like ZenReach. Anyone's heard of ZenReach? No? Come on, you guys all got to use ZenReach. So ZenReach is whenever you go into an airport or Starbucks and the Wi-Fi thing pops up, when you sign up, ZenReach collects everything they can on you, right? Especially if you sign up on Facebook. I collect over 60 different data points on you if you join Bareburger Wi-Fi, right? You need Wi-Fi, we need data. This is perfect because now when you have signed in, I can see how long your IP has sat down in our restaurant, so I can classify you as a pickup order, delivery order, or a dine-in order. In addition, what I can do is I can now keep on targeting you, right? Every 4 weeks, give you $5. You haven't come for 8 weeks, I'm knocking down your door. I'm showing up because now I have that data. So we can set up aggressive campaigns to go ahead and win our customers back. Flash promos. What we've done after we've read that data is, and our website or online ordering is, if you have ordered from Bareburger at 12 p.m. on a Monday, next week on Monday at 11 a.m., I'm sending you an email blast or showing up on your social feed and giving you a promo to make you purchase again. The average customer that comes to Bareburger who's a loyalist comes in every 28 days because of our price point. So if I can get you to come in at least twice a month, it's a win for me. All right, number 4, UI UX designer. This was formerly most concepts had graphic designers, right? And our creative director is right there if you guys want to talk to him later. But why do we have a UI UX designer on top of, let's just say, a traditional graphic designer? Because our competition, we're on the intersection of how traceable we are and how many choices we offer, right? So that's what we pride ourselves in. Any of these concepts here? So I can talk shit about it. Anyone here? No? Freely, no problem. All right, so Bareburger's on top, right? Choice and traceable. The people I really admire and compete against is Dig In and Sweet Green, right? Those are the people I'm trying to get because the customer profile they have similar education I'm looking for. They care about what they're putting into their body. So when I'm competing against those guys, what do they have? They have a brand that is crystal clear, they have a mission that is sound, and they make sure that they're adding more and more value to their customer journey. So what do I mean by that? So a UI UX designer, when competing against Dig In and Sweet Green, would say, we need to make some upgrades to our system. Upgrade number 1, let's make sure we know who is eating at a restaurant. Who are the carnivores, the vegans, who are the gluten intolerant. Let's go and sell the right thing to people. A vegan does not want to see a 5-ounce beef patty, right? So let's fix that. So you come to our website, there's 2 versions. There's a vegan version and there's a non-vegan version, right? Because our second biggest diet is the vegan groups, right? So you can go in, when we do a targeted marketing on our email blast, if you're a vegan and you've received it and you clicked on it, you're seeing a website that the rest of the company is not seeing, that all of you guys are not seeing when you go to bareburger.com. Add ton more value, right? You can go ahead and click on any item on our website, and it will give you a detailed report on every single item and where it's coming from, right? You can even click on one single ingredient and find an essay on it. Have I read all of it myself? Absolutely not, right? But I know people care about it, and I want to make sure we're adding more value. Our online ordering, you can go based on your diet, it will only show you a diet specific or a calorie specific. So as soon as you hover on any item, you can see more information about the farms it's coming from. Number 5, inbound marketing. This one's my personal favorite. So these are all the tools we use at Bareburger, right? From how to go ahead and execute, capture, measure, and customer support, right? So these are all the tools we're using. But the reason we were successful in 2009 was because we were a really good local burger joint. And so how does the inbound marketer make sure that we're not just becoming bigger and just doing everything digital? How are we still staying close to our roots from back in 2009? Every week you'll see an article that is released from Bareburger about something that is not about Bareburger, right? About how we can help the environment, how we can go ahead and have a cleaner diet, why vegan food is better for you, and just different diets themselves. A lot about nutrition and the planet. And nowhere in those articles will we mention Bareburger, right? Or, oh, this is why we do it and this is why you should come here. That's not the point. The point is just to add value, right? Inbound marketing is all about add value, and maybe when the customer is ready and if you've added enough value, they'll come by, right? 90% of what we do is ask people to buy our stuff. You know, it's okay to take a break and say, hey, can I do something for you guys? I know that this is the profile, customer profile. How can I go ahead and make their life a little bit better? Something else we do is we also convert those into videos, and we launch monthly videos for kids ages 4 to 12. So now kids can look at the video and they can look at complex nutrition videos and break it down. We have a video about GMO that we've broken down that a 5-year-old hopefully can understand, right? Something else we're launching Q4 is we're getting a couple of nutritionists on the team. Even if, so now you guys can go to our website and say, hey, I would like to talk to a nutritionist if I can eat this or that, right? Because we get at least 20 emails a day about some of our food items, like about allergy-related items. So we'll have nutritionists on call that you can call and talk to them about, hey, if you can come to Bareburger, right? Who does this? AppleCare does this, right? If you go to who here has an Apple computer? Right? And who here has gone into one of their shops? I bet 80% of you have taken something in and they said we have to send it back somewhere else to fix it. Is that correct? Right? So the reason for that is what they're trying to do is fix the basic issues so they can have a win. More than anything else, it's a marketing technique. I used to work for them. It's a marketing technique to let you know that they really care about fixing your product. But they're fixing it just like Microsoft is. They're sending it back, right? And if it's a basic issue and they can solve it, which is 10 to 20% of the items, they'll solve it right there. Most of it they're sending back. So similarly, we want to make sure not only are we perceived as a company that cares about your nutrition, we're putting our money where our mouth is, right? So even if we hire 3 of them and we do, let's say we're booking around 10 appointments a week, we're looking at $85,000 a year, which is not that bad. Something else we're doing, to continue to be the community burger joint, we're doing tons of local activations. We have 50 restaurants. Each restaurant has to do 1 marketing activation a month. So we're doing, hopefully hundreds of them a year, right? So if you keep on continuing to do and give back to the community, it comes back, even when you mess up. And we mess up a lot, right? Anyone who here sells food, we mess up, things go wrong. Are they going to forgive us and come back, right? And when you continue to go ahead and give to the community, best believe there's a friend in there that says, you got to try it again. If they changed their menu, they got better, right? Usually people are saying, yeah, I hate them too, right? And because of one person in a group, you don't go to a restaurant, right? If all of us went to a restaurant right now, the 7 of us, if someone someone did not like a restaurant, none of us would go there, right? So similarly, you need advocates and ambassadors for your brand. All right, number 6 is Chief Experience Officer. This is my role. How vain to add myself at the end. But we are marketers. All right, a couple of things I've done is do a lot of activations in the space to go ahead and continue to see if we can push the boundaries as a small concept, right? So this is a Snapchat AR campaign we launched last year that was probably our most successful. If someone has Snapchat, you can scan that. Basically, if you scan that code, what happens is the video is not working. All right, what happens is if you scan that code, you will see a virtual burger, and it's not an animated version. It's one of our actual burgers, and you can place it on the table. So I'm a big movie fan, as you guys can imagine. I watched Willy Wonka, and I saw the Golden Ticket campaign, and I said, hey, we should try the same thing, right? Give back to the community, give some free burgers away, and try this technology out. So we gave away 100 burgers per concept, per restaurant. Gave it to our VIP fans, put them in the to-go bags, and it just became a viral campaign that we did last year before Burger King. All right. They did do it the immediate summer. But listen, the reason we're able to sometimes beat the bigger guys is because we're small. That's the only advantage we have, right? When we make a decision, it's me and one other guy, right? So, or a girl, right? I have to check with one or two people. So when we can go ahead and work with a lot of startups to go ahead and activate concepts, might as well, versus when a startup calls some of the people here, it's very hard to get to you, right? You want those phone calls, but there's a lot of barriers in between. My team has to go to a startup event every week, right? It has to go to a talk or a startup event every week and look for what's next out there. This is something else we're doing at one of our restaurants. This is a projection on the table. This is AR tech. You can order and it'll go print straight to the kitchen, right? We all know we're trying to cut labor. So this is one of the things we're trying to do to go ahead and cut some labor. We don't know if this is tacky, but hey, we're testing, we're trying it out. That was inspired from Minority Report. All right, so remember how I mentioned online ordering numbers, right? So this is 2017, this is 2018. This is my projection for 2019. And as you can see, we're finally taking 50% of our online ordering back, all right? And again, these are projections for 2019. So how are we doing that? My job is to go ahead and not just find the right partners. Sometimes if I can't find it, it's start the right companies, right? So we have Lunchbox here. We have the CEO of Lunchbox here. So I kept on going out there and looking for the right partner, like Level Up, Brandable, Olo, and I couldn't find someone who could take care of all of my stuff and charge me 1 to 2% of what my fees are. Not 15%, not 30%, right? So when I couldn't find it, I went up to Andrew and I said, Andrew, because Andrew and I have had 3 failed startups together, so we obviously hate each other by this point. I'm like, Andrew, can you build everything I need? I'll scope it out. Our design team will push it out for you. Can you build it out? And Andrew's like, yeah, I can build this out in 2 weeks. So why would I build this? This is so simple. Why don't you why is this not in existence? So a restaurateur and a technologist got together and we started a company called Lunchbox, and we started 2 months ago, but it has taken over our kiosk, web, and app, right? And I'm paying 1 to 2% of the check average instead of 30%, right? And I'm working with only one company to do my UX, to do the ordering. So sometimes our job is not to just look for the right partner. Our job is to start the companies if we can't find it, right? The reason Andrew started, because Andrew was in Johnson & Johnson, he wanted out of there, right? And the reason we needed him to start this is because we couldn't find the right partner. And since in the 2 months, he signed up 16 Handle and Stickies. And yes, sometimes we have to start these companies and help them and bring them into our space. We cannot expect Level Up and Brandable and Olo to know our pain points. We know our pain points, so let's build it ourselves. And the last thing a chief experience officer would do, and the reason we built it out is because I needed an omni-channel ecosystem so I can launch all the campaigns I wanted to. These are the 66 different campaigns we've been working on to go ahead and convert online ordering from third-party sites like Grubhub and Seamless to ours. And the joke is, a third-party site, one of the major players, actually looking into their company to invest. So we've been bashing them publicly as much as we can, but they know that we're upset, right? And they don't know how to cut the margins. So we have to figure out how to do it ourselves. All right, the last thing a chief experience officer would do. So in 2009, we were an organic burger chain, and that was cool back then. It's not cool at all anymore, right? So how can we still be relevant and still go ahead and make sure we're listening to our customers? This is our BCG growth matrix. We looked at what is high on the market share and market growth, and we saw the vegan community was what we needed to target. The reason for that is we were the first launchers of the Impossible Burger, and we're the only ones who does Impossible and Beyond Burger. And what will happen was 80% of everyone who's trying the Beyond and the Impossible Burger were meat eaters, right? And if you guys don't know what the Beyond and Impossible Burgers are, it's a plant-based burger. It looks like beef, bleeds like beef, right? We've been sourcing from farmers that are organic, sustainable, and local. We said, hey, let's find partners like Impossible so we can make sure that we're now sourcing from the future, right? It is by far the most sustainable product on our menu. And so we looked at it. We saw it was 95% less land. It's less land. I can't look at the numbers, guys. It makes no sense. It's better. It's better than beef. It's better than beef, believe me. All right. Yeah, so we said, you know what, let's release that. And as we now, yes, as of yesterday, we've officially converted to 50% vegan. All our restaurants are 50% vegan. One side is a regular menu, and if you flip it, it has a duality. It is perfectly vegan. On the other side, we have products like Vegan and Impossible, but we have other partners that are on the forefront of protein that has all the caloric values just as beef or tuna does, but it's completely plant-based, right? That being said, we are now the second biggest vegan chain in the world, right? Right after Veggie Grill. So that's how we're innovating this year, and that's how we're moving forward. And that is, again, some of the job of a chief experience officer, to keep on being relevant and keep on moving the needle and making uncomfortable decisions. This might backfire. I might not be here next year, even in the audience, if this backfires. But that's the job, right? And with that being said, thank you. Yep.
Take any questions? A dozen questions. I've got
questions.
One. Since you've been there since the beginning, obviously, what are some of the things that caused the growth? Because you've been growing dramatically since the beginning. And did you get an agency somewhere along the way? Are you doing it all yourself? What's making it work?
Okay, we're completely in-house. Our team is, when I keep on describing these roles, there's like 6 people, right? Our marketing team is 6 people. Zach, is that correct? We're 6 people. We have no outside agencies we work with. Our annual budget is $600,000. We can't afford anything, right? We know the margin in the restaurant space. We've also not taken any outside money yet, so we've completely bootstrapped. So we're hoping that will change soon. But we're prepared when the money does come in to go ahead and grow properly, right? So we want to make sure we don't lose the narrative. So completely in-house.
How's your Impossible Burger supply?
It's right now it's short. Did you know that? Is that what you're asking? All right. It is in short supply. Thank you. Is that Burger King that launched it? Is it Burger King? Thanks, Burger King. But we have 5 other products that are similar, if not better. Again, plant-based protein. So I know Impossible and Beyond are all the craze. We were doing that 3 years ago when no one else was, right? We're trying to do something much better and cleaner now. So we've moved, that's not our narrative anymore. Our narrative is now, hey, we have an entire menu of items similar to that. Yeah. So it is short, but we have the Beyond 2.0. And we're the only, I think, one of the 2 restaurant groups that has the Beyond 2.0, and we're super excited about that. Yeah.
Earlier this morning, we talked about some stats where one of the big drivers of QSR nationally are coupons and loyalty deals. The download the app for free thing, of the people who downloaded the app for free, do they typically stick with you, or is it really they just want the deal?
You know how I said 70% of the people who come to Bareburger never come back again? 82% of the customers that download the app never come back again. Right? And those are level up numbers. Those are not the new app numbers, so I don't have that. But typically, the real estate on your phone has become so valuable, right? It has become very expensive. One of the things we've done to go ahead and compete with that is we are available in every format. So you can order in every different way you want to, right? And one of the things we've done is the points are transferable, whether it's dine-in, delivery, online, web, whatever you do, right? So those are some of the things we've done to compete against that, but we were not able to before because we worked with 3-4 different companies, just like everyone is. The best restaurant website, in my eyes, the Sweet Green website, is made by 7 different teams. I can't afford 7 different teams and Gin Lane, the agency that helped make it for $1 million. So we said, you know what, we'll give you $10,000, do it all. So, and in exchange, what hopefully Andrew got out of it is he has his own company now that he's reselling, and now he hopefully has some of the restaurant background he needed to get started.
Right. Any other questions? Nabeel, thank you so much.